All right, ladies and gentlemen, the market is open. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me make sure you all can hear me. Go ahead in the chat box, type in the number 1 and let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Fantastic. I hope you like our setup that we've got over here. It is a wonderful extension of what a trading room should look like. All right. Let's see. Morning, Helen. Appreciate all the ones. John, good afternoon. Afternoon, Kevin. Good to see you, sir. All right. Fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. So keep in mind that everything we discuss, everything we talk about is for educational purposes only. Nothing we discuss is meant to be advice and or recommendations. All right, we've got a couple of great trainings coming up this week and out over the next few. Mastering the Trade, let's see, that's going to be August 4th, which is tomorrow. Those that are in power option plays, you'll automatically be registered. You have to do nothing. You just have to pass go. Show up, hit the enter button, and be there. Come with your questions. Right? Trading You is on August 5th. We do that twice a month. Patterns in a Flash is on the 11th. We also do that twice a month. Inner Circle, the next one is August 12th, 8 p.m. And then Charting Your Way to Success. Guys, that is a live training we're doing in New York. We surpassed our halfway mark. So we've got a little bit more than half of the seats already gone. We just started this weekend, I think it was. The last weekend, I forget. Just started sending out general emails. So if you're interested in that, by all means, go ahead and lock that in. It's $99. You're going to come to a training, an event, where I'm going to show you things about your charts that you never knew existed. And the goal is to cut 15 to 30 minutes a day off of your time in the market just by the way you've got your chart set up. Right, I got a mastermind group coming up on Tuesday night, which is tomorrow. Here we are, Power Hour today, right? Of course, Mondays. Trading Coaches Playbook, that was Coach's Corner. We revised the name. Make sure you're in that class. Great feedback. Man, these guys are giving away tons of great stuff inside of there. Brandon, Tony, Ryan, amazing coaches. And then Brandon's got a couple of futures trainings going out called How to Trade the Market, August 2nd and 4th. I've got another one coming up, which is a limited seating event. What am I talking about? It is we just put it on the schedule today. I'm not going to give you the date yet. We're just locking everything in. We're moving one thing around, but it's what I call it's a premium event that we're going to give away for free. My team thinks I'm absolutely friggin' nuts. I hear it all the time. Really? You know, you're off your meds? What is it? I mean, every time I turn around, you're giving stuff away. We're doing this free training. It's going to be live. It'll be a 1 hour long training. It is free. It's pure content. I am going to drill down on you some things about the market, about trading, and try to help you figure out the things that you're doing wrong and don't even realize that you are. So, but we only have a limited number of seats in that room that we're doing this in. So when you see it come out, and it will be, it's the second week of August. I think we might be doing two. We're doing one for sure. We'll see about the second one. We're doing one for sure, though. All right, Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini Think Tank are all on the regular schedule this week. Now, when it comes to following us, guys, these are the various platforms that we're on. Sean, let's make sure we get the blog on this page also, because we got such great content that goes up on that blog. Make sure you're following along with us. How many did I do today, Sean? How many videos did I create today? I think it was more than that. I think it was like 6 or 7 videos that I did today that all went out on social. One of them went to our mastermind group only, but the others all went out on the rest of everything else on social that we do. Pre-market updates, candidate updates, what's going on trading-wise, all of that goes out there. So make sure you're checking those things out on the various platforms. Here's the Charting Your Way to Success. This is the live event in New York. But Rob, I'm on the other side of the country. You know, they got this crazy invention called a plane that you could take. Yes. Is it worth $99 for this event? Yeah, live one day with me? Absolutely, without a doubt. And just showing up, folks, you get a $200 credit just for showing up at the event. I don't care about the $99. I want to make sure that everybody's got a little skin in the game, that they actually come, because we do have a limited number of seats for the event. All right, so what kind of trades you guys got going out there? Let me see what you're doing as far as your trades go. Amy dropped a link to the Charting Your Way to Success in the chat box. Thank you for that, Amy. So go ahead and click on that link, guys, and get registered. Tom said, I just caught the drop on the ES. Excellent, Tom. How'd you do? Or you're probably in it still if you just caught it. So let's see. Yeah, we are recording, right, Sean? Yeah, we're recording. We are, Jim. It shows on my end we're recording. Thank you for that. August 4th is a Wednesday. Thanks, Robert. Let's see. Am I going to do Benzenga on Thursday? Guess what? Who was that? Say, hey, they changed my date and time. I am now Tuesday mornings at ODark 7 a.m. So you'll catch me bright and early on Tuesdays on 7 a.m. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Tony Benson is now going to be doing a half-hour show on there as well. So you can catch him on Thursdays, normally where I would have been. Let's see. Tom said, got out, grabbed $350. Good job, Tom. Good job. Robert said, mainly bull put and bear call spreads, Beyond Meat, Honeywell, Roku, and Zoom. Nice. Ellen said, got in on Q's, gap fill at the opening, out in 15 minutes, and done. I love it. Great job, folks. Great job. Excellent. Put the rest of your trades in there, guys. Say, hey, said that's still a good time. It's fantastic. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just got to do a little prep work at night, say, hey, to get ready for it, because I'm not doing that in the morning before we start. Not that early, that's for sure. To be woken up, fully woken up already at that point, woo, I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. So here's two trades from today. Now, remember, guys, Amelia is our head trader, right? She's an absolutely, not only is she a great coach, she is an amazing trader. You guys need to follow along with the things that she does. Every day on Twitter, we put out what we call a trade du jour, where we share this. And these come out of her Trade Watch alerts every day that she does. So here's, if you look, it shows, where are we? Friday's gap, overfill, and bounce, right? So this was on Friday that she was talking about back in here. And then today she sold, yeah, let me take it down here. Right? If we go ahead and look at this bottom one right here, 9:55 a.m., 9:55:36, right? She bought 13 contracts to open long on the Qs, the August 2nd Qs. When is August 2nd? That expires today. 3 expirations a week on the Qs and the SPY. So she took the Qs, the 363 call, and spent $2.16. That means on one contract, you needed $216 in order to do this trade. We're not talking about huge money, $216. She got out less than a minute. Well, no, just over a minute later, right? She got out at, less than a minute. She sold at 56.26. So 50 seconds later, 5-0. 13 contracts. She sold it at 227. That's 11 cents per share is what she picked up on the trade. And I know some of you going, Rob, 11 cents is not worth my time. Really? So she did 13 contracts on this and picked up a 4% rate of return in under a minute. Someone want to annualize that for me? Actually, forget about annualize. Someone want to tell me what my hourly rate is if I'm 4% a minute? Is that 2,400% an hour? I'll take it. All day long, I'll take it. Right? Let's see. And then here's another one, guys. So this was a credit spread done on Roku. Now we have shifted from one contract to 3. We have proven for 2 years now that you can do this with one contract. We're kicking it up to show you that even with a little bit of a bigger account, it's not just we do this only with a really small account, just one contract. We're now doing 3 contracts across the board on the trades that we do. And all of these entered right in on TOS, every bit of them, every single one. So it was a vertical spread that we did here. So we originally took a credit at 9:42 and 49 seconds this morning. We did a credit, and this is on Roku, 3 contracts. The August 6th, which is this Friday, we bought the 435 as an insurance policy, and we sold the 432 half call. Don't worry about the individual prices. We don't really care about that. That credit price, we took in 95 cents on this trade. 95 cents. So one contract, $95. 3 contracts, 9827, 270, 285. Is that about right? $285 is what the cash in was. Now we're obligated in this trade, right? We have an open position. We closed this trade out at 9:54, 27 seconds, and we spent 60 cents to close it out. So we kept 35 cents of that trade. So we got $105 is what our total P&L was. and we're in the trade for 12 minutes. And what does that give us for rate of return? Pretty darn good, right? If we took in 35 cents over a $2.50, what's that? 20%, 18%, whatever it was, guys, crushed it. Crushed it. Great job. For those of you that put your trades in that had some good ones, great job for you as well. Robert said $143.50. I want some, right? There we go. I knew someone was going to do it. $8,580 for an hour. That's our hourly rate at that first trade on the Qs. There's our hourly rate, $8,580 an hour. Let's see. Tom said, anyone catch the moving average cross on the SPY 5 minute to close the gap? I did not take it, Tom. John said, Wheel of Fortune, Telray, SWKS, so SWKS, SRPT, and HIMX, Naked Puts, Tech, TECK, $1,600 plus for 36 contracts, expiration this Friday. Reach back. Anything over $1,000, guys. Wheel of Fortune. Great job, John. Great job. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. Roku with a spread instead of a buy to open a put. All right, Jim, there you go. Price of put, Jim said, is way too expensive. Well, and you trade the position that fits your risk profile. That's okay. You trade what fits your risk, your profile, what you're comfortable with day in and day out. And that's for all of us. You should not, if you can't sleep at night, you're in the wrong trade. I mean, because of a trade. I don't mean the wrong trade. If you can't sleep at night thinking about the trade that you're in, oh my God, it's Amazon. You know, I bought 10 contracts at 150 grand or whatever it was. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be in that trade. All right? Okay. So Roman said, what should I do to get your hammer? What do you mean to get my hammer, Roman? If you mean the hammer itself, me banging on a desk, it's, guys, any trade that's over $1,000, you guys get that hammer, right? So that one went out to John at $1,600. That's all it is, Roman. Tell me your trades that are over $1,000, well, whatever they are. Listen, there's nothing wrong with sharing. You made $950 today. You don't get a hammer, but so what? Guys, that's $950. Right? It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal rate of return, as one of my original coaches used to say. Okay. Excellent. To get in my office so I can knock my head when I break your rules. So we're not giving it away, Roman. I can tell you where to get it when you come to New York. Jim said, Roku answer. Thank you. Could not figure out why the put could be so expensive. Makes sense. All right, there you go. So, guys, the topic we sent out for today is how retail traders are changing the market. And all you really need to do to figure this out is look at what's happening with Reddit. Step back and say, what's Reddit doing to the market? WallStreetBets. What are they doing out there? Right? They're empowering individuals. I'm not saying for the right reasons, but they're empowering individuals. If you look at retail accounts, look at Robinhood. Robinhood has exploded as far as opening up brokerage accounts. I don't know where they are today, but they were bigger than Goldman Sachs. They had more money in their accounts than Goldman Sachs, right? Or Morgan Stanley. Sorry, it was one of the two big ones. I don't remember which one. But whoever it was, bigger than one of the major firms out there. And they're just a couple of years old. And they charge nothing for commissions. Now, they're getting paid in other ways. You may not get the best price. Right, I did get a free share of stock from them after I got into a trade, but they did give me one. But and they do have some of those incentives there. They tell you about the IPOs as they're coming up. You can get into some of the IPOs through them, and so forth. They'll take your pre-order based on price. Right, retail traders are changing the market because it's no longer just Wall Street making all the decisions. When I first started back in 1997, market was a great market. But getting any information was extremely tough. I'm talking to the point of calling my broker and saying, dude, I placed an order 4 hours ago. What price did I get filled at? Let me send a runner down to the floor and we'll find that out. I'm like, oh my God. And then one brokerage firm came out with a Wall Street Access. They came out with a software platform that you could literally hit on your dial-up. It would dial up to your account. It would duplicate what's in your account and download it to your system and disconnect. And now you could see what's happened in your account. That was huge when I found that. Tremendous. Because I could start, I'd be dialing every 15 seconds. I was dialing to get my update to see what was going on. But at least I had some insight there, right? Then I found a platform where I could buy this little, well, I leased it actually. You buy a little computer, 1997. It was a little computer that had an antenna that popped up, folded out, and it hooked up to Wi-Fi before there was any Wi-Fi. And I was able to connect to the broker and see what was going on. We're talking $700 a month I paid for that data, right? For me, was it worth it? Absolutely. I wish I could get access before everyone else could again. It was wonderful. I knew before anybody else. You'd see on CNBC that there was, an airplane crash, and, the airplane stock you're watching and saying, wow, nothing happened to the stock. And all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, you start to see the stock price drop. I was able to get in and capitalize on those deals before anybody else even knew what was going on, right? To take advantage of those things. Today, in today's market, you don't have that advantage anymore. No one gets that advantage. The front loading of orders where you place an order, the broker sees your order, and they send another order in front of yours to get a better price, kicks your price up a little bit, blah, 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 right? That's the only way of front loading some of those things that anybody has any quicker access than anybody else does. That's it. This cabling thing of, they run, 100 miles of cable like this around in circles, so you can't get your order placed very quickly and they can get in front of you. Yeah, that's great and fine and good. It's costing you 0.000002, which for the average retail investor doesn't matter. So we're not really affected by that, and options trading is affected even less by it. But retail investors are stepping away from traditional stocks and then moving into the options component, the Forex component, the futures component, and one of the bigger ones right now is the crypto component. Now, don't get me wrong. Both of my daughters, their boyfriends, are looking for a way into the market. Smaller accounts. One is still in college. The other one just graduated as a nurse. He's getting ready to go back to school, which means he has to quit his job for 3 years and go for an anesthesia nurse. It's like $250,000 for the training or something like that. So they're not looking to spend a lot of money, but how do I get into the market? So both of them bought Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin, which is a cryptocurrency that has no value to it whatsoever, except it's named after somebody's dog or something. I don't know. Retail investors, traders are changing the market. How? Because they are now very heavily involved, and they are not worried about the old adage of what Wall Street says trading the market looks like. They're trading it to their own tune. So retail has definitely changed what's going on. We are seeing lengths of time where the markets are running that bullish market much longer than they had been in the past. We're seeing, even with weaker economies in places, or not economies, but the financial numbers coming out, we're still seeing good results in how the markets move, right? Even when the Fed does very dumb things, and yes, I don't like the Fed chair at all, but even when they do very dumb things, when I say I don't like the Fed chair, he's okay, Powell's okay. My fear is that you're going to wind up with another Yellen back in there, which is even worse if they don't reconfirm Powell again for the second time. So for another term. But I think they're very focused, the Fed right now, on the market and not on the economy, which is okay for me. It's not okay for what's happening in the economy. You got cash sitting in the bank, and we got a 3+% inflation rate, and you're making 1/4, 1%. You're losing 3% basically in a year of keeping it liquid in cash, right? You got to have it invested. You got to have it moving. I saw somebody posted something on my Facebook page the other day that said, and I didn't write this, and I may mess it up a little bit, but it was, poor people are poor. I don't remember what it was for that, because they don't have any money. Something like that. Middle class are middle class because they spend all of their money. Wealthy are wealthy because they invest all of their money. Right? No, for middle class, it was save all their money. For wealthy, it was invest all of their money. right? You've got to have your investments going. What are you doing, right? Retail investors are absolutely changing this market, guys. Let's see. Yeah, say hey, thank you. He listen, this kid is a hard kid. He's a man. But this guy is a very hard worker. His name is James. He's a very hard worker, put himself through school while working full-time as a waiter, and came out of nursing school with no debt at all. This will be a little different. He'll have some debt, but you just can't work for the full 3 years you're there. You can't even get a part-time job at a grocery store or at a gas station. Nothing. You're not allowed to work. That's how intensive a program it is. All right, let's go take a look at the market. So here's what we did. Sean, when you get a chance, change this over on the second monitor that we removed the menu from the second monitor. All right. So we put the background on TradeStation to white. We've had some problems with the black background. We're playing around with it. It seems like the white is not giving us the hang up that caused some of the issues with Zoom. We're hoping we'll find out today. Right? Let's see. So if I go ahead and full screen that chart, we're still good. Okay, excellent. I'm not a fan of the white on TradeStation. I like the black better, but this makes me not have to focus on another trading platform, which is TOS right now, when I could just focus on TradeStation because I know it's so much better in there. All right. So if we look at the market itself, right? Whoa, didn't want to do that. Right. If we look at the S&P 500 right now, we had this nice move up today, and we have basically given it all back. Right. We closed the gap on the S&P 500, which means SPY. There we go. We closed the gap on the SPY. Right. So our gap up, if we look here, we closed at 438.47. We opened at 440.34. So we got about a $3 gap on SPY. SPY, the SPY does not have a high tendency of filling a gap at a $3 level. Doesn't mean it doesn't fill the same day. It's not a very high tendency. It's not one that I would say, ooh, that's a good deal. I'm going to take that trade. But it does have a very high tendency of filling 0.618% of that gap. So there was the trade for me on SPY today as we started to make that pullback of can we get that gap fill coming up in there? And we did. We did. And what I would do, because I know this on SPY, and if you have the gap stats, guys, if you have gap statistics, right, the program that we offer, the subscription that we offer to that, we've just changed it over a month and a half ago. Multiple emails went out, so you should have seen it. But there are no limitation on the number that you can run. Where you were only able to run 4 a month, we just had to make sure timing, we didn't crash. Everybody was using it at once because we have so many people that are registered for this. And we built up our servers enough that we're good. So we removed all restrictions on it, so you have unlimited access to it. You need to go out and run 1 year on SPY, run 2 years on SPY, look at the differences in there, start running the combination, see how it's done in the last 3 months, and so forth, and start analyzing what's happening on those positions that you can capitalize on. If you're trying to trade a gap without gap statistics, you're making a mistake. Sorry, you are. Statistically, what's the chance it fills the gap? This is not a coin flip where we hope that the person that gave us the information is right. Well, most gaps tend to fill the same day. That's not necessarily true. There are some stocks that hardly ever fill their gaps. So we can't rely on a broad statement. Listen, I guess it's colder in the wintertime in New York than it is in summertime. Very broad statement. It's a lot different than it's 4 degrees on the 3rd of January every year. That's specific, but we can historically look at those numbers and say on average, we've got a higher chance of it being there. Not it is 3 degrees every January 4th or whatever the date is. Right? So SPY, SPX, good pullback today. Right? One of the things I always look for, if I'm away from the market, like I left my home office today at 11 o'clock to come here. It's just about 12:30 now, so I really haven't looked a whole lot at what's going on market-wise from the drive over and all of that, setting up and so forth. So I come into TradeStation and I sort by net change, and I want to see what's going on. I already know from a standpoint of the S&P 500. Let's sort by symbol again. I know from those S&P 500 that we're up 43 points on the day, 41 points right now on the day. So we got a tremendous bullish move. So what am I looking for? What bulls are there? What bulls are there right now that I could possibly take advantage of? Tesla, right, as an example. And I'm not saying that you should trade any of these. You've got to make sure it fits your risk profile. And you certainly shouldn't trade any of them now. And how do I know that? Is because that clock tells me don't trade them now. That clock tells me we're in the slowest time of the day. If you are an experienced trader, go for it. You certainly can trade there. But if you're newer to trading, this is the slowest time of the day, which is the biggest whipsaws that take place. Almost better off to sit back, position number one in the chair, sit back, just relax, let it do its thing. Actually, even better, get up and walk away once we're done here today, of course. But get up and walk away during that 1:15, 1:30 time up till that from noon-ish till about 1:15, 1:30, as much as 2 o'clock. Better off to walk away in most cases. Right? Tesla. Let's look first at Tesla. Let's go over Omega charts. All right, there we go. Oh, done. All right. We got to get the live stream hooked up in here, Sean, on Omega charts. So right now, let me see where it is. Move that around a little bit. Perfect. So we're at 719 and quarter right now is what we'll call it. 719 quarter. All right. So look at that. We're just above that fib line. 717.85. So what am I looking at for this afternoon? Are we going to, can we get above that? 719 quarter. Can we go up a little bit? Pull back to the 717.85 bounce. There might be a short-term opportunity. Could it moved already too much? Yes. Would I trade the downside of it? Probably not. Because I don't tend to fight these strong bullish days and a strong bullish move on a stock. I don't tend to fight that equity, that stock overall pattern, overall trend, which is bullish. Okay, so I'd be a little bit careful on that. But Tesla, love them to death, guys. They've passed with the earnings, so they're good. It makes it a lot easier for us at this point. Booking. I know some of you don't care for them with the bigger spreads. I love them. I trade them all the time. All the time, right? There's the gap fill on Booking. So now this was a little different, right? We closed here. We gapped up to here. We ran. So that was a gap and go on that run, and we've pulled back now. And look at the overall pattern that's happening right now. We're just kind of in that sideways mode there, right? If we look at CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Chipotle. See, if you were here last week, I remember. Chipotle. Right? And my wife reminded me today before I left. She's cleaning up, and you know, we're married going on 31 years, right? 32 years. And it's kind of that little zing. Don't forget how you say that word. I know. Thank you very much for telling me what I'm doing wrong. I appreciate it. Let's see. So Chipotle has moved up above Booking now. So overall, let's get a little more view on that 5-minute chart. Overall, not too bad, right? That gap up, we filled that gap very quickly. 2 candles and we were filled. Nice gap too. And it took a little bit of while before we finally came up, retested and bounced to give us a potential entry. And then we failed and we're back above the 8 moving average now. So, but overall, look at the lows, look at the highs. I like what we're seeing. So everything looks good here to me. Alibaba, BABA, right? Good strong move up. It's kind of flat, but it is lunchtime. And then we've got NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA has earnings coming out. Robert, can you tell me, or somebody, can you tell me when NVIDIA's earnings are? What date, please? Those of you that are watching us live here, if you would let me know. It's coming up. It's in August. I don't remember the exact date, 18th or 20th. I forgot my tracking sheet at home today. The 18th or the 20th is the date of the earnings. But they just did their split. When we look at their end of day chart, now this date here, I don't know if this is confirmed or not. I don't remember if they were confirmed. This shows the 18th, right? So I'm looking at, I already have from last week a bull put spread on NVIDIA. Of course, everything we talk about is education, right? But I already have a bull put spread on NVIDIA, okay? So I am somewhere down in this range in here. I did it on Friday, the spread. Later in the day on Friday to take advantage of time value deterioration over a weekend, right? And that's exactly what happened. NVIDIA is up today, another few dollars, which means right now, NVIDIA, boy, these numbers are hard to see. I got to play with colors a little bit here. Where'd she go? NVIDIA is up $3.32 right now. All right. Yeah, I got to play around with these colors just a little. The black background's easier for me, but Zoom doesn't like it. So Roman said it's on 8/18. Thank you, Martha. Same thing, Robert. That's on TOS, and it is verified. Thank you, Robert. That's the important one. I appreciate it. I think it's Mirtha. If not, if I mispronounce it, I apologize. Thank you for the reminder. The reminder for newbies to walk away from 12 to 2 was super helpful. Avoid the whipsaw. Exactly. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. 8/18. Thank you very much for all of that. So I like it still as a potential trade setup, even though earnings coming up is excuse me. As long as I can get decent premium on that trade, I'm in. So what does that mean? Well, let's go look. Let's see. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right. And we are trading right now at 190. We'll call it 198. So we're right up under that 200 level, which is a fibit between the 236 and the 0 line. So if I want to look down below that 191 half, so 190 would be an ideal one for me if I can get any decent premium on it. So look at NVIDIA. We want to look at the weekly option that expires this week, which is the 6th. And I'm going to go to vertical. Probably good where we are. Okay, looking for puts. I'm looking ideally below the 191. I don't have anything left for this week. I mean, 191, 190. Oh, you know what it is? That's, look at the strikes. By the way, once I did this trade, huge mistake, by the way, after I entered the trade, I called TradeStation and said, just confirming, do we have any odd shares in any of these strike prices? When you see those wacky numbers, you better confirm that you don't have a strike price that has 113 and a half shares of stock and $61.85 in cash or some ridiculous thing like that. I've had them where it was 100 plus shares of stock for the main company, 13 shares of stock for another company, and 180 something dollars in cash. It was crazy because a merger happened after another merger happened. What? Somebody bought somebody and merged them in, then they bought somebody else and merged them in, so you had to include their shares. It was insane. So I already confirmed. I called TradeStation, got a broker on the phone, and very quickly, is this anything other than a 100-share lot? And they said, no, it's not, which is great. But if you look, we're talking about 191.88 and 192.50. You're not even $1 apart. So here's what we could do. If I look at that and say, well, that might be a little bit too tight, let's go make the spread range 2 increments, right? So what does that mean? I still need more strikes. So 191 and a quarter, 190. so I've got $1.25 risk there, and I'm picking up 22 cents for the trade. So my maximum risk is $1.25, and I'm picking up, let's just say a quarter to make math very simple. That is a 20% rate of return for the next 4 days. Right? It is all about cash flow. Guys, I wish someone had drilled in my head as a newer trader to forget chasing the big trade and to focus on cash flow. I would have so many more zeros on my account today than I do now, had I just focused on that. And if you don't believe me, take a penny and double it every day for 30 days and tell me where you're at. All right? You're crushing it in 30 days. If you double that penny every 30 days, I know you look at it, it's 2 pennies, it's 4, it's 8, it's 16, 32, 64, 128. God, you're 7 or 8 days in. You only got $1.28 you're putting in. Get to about day 20. And let me know when you have to put in $50,000 or so. Right? It adds up. So I like this trade very much. You've got to make sure it fits your risk profile. Right? If we're looking at GameStop, let's see. I haven't checked them today. All right. GME. So we're holding above that 157. I still need to see where it is today. Actually, we dropped down to 155 and a half. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not interested at all. See, guys, I talked about it through this where I wasn't doing naked puts on any longer, and some came back and said, Rob, we're bouncing here, but look at the cluster we were in of moving averages. We failed, and now we've actually dropped below it. AMC. So let's see where we are today, though. Oh, yeah. 36.27. Over to let's get rid of the spreads. Let's go back to single. So what we're looking at there, under 33. Wow. The 33 put is paying me 90 cents. I'm not going to be able to get up below my next level, though. Not going to be able to get below 24. There's no way. 24 is paying me 6 cents. So somewhere down below that 33. Guys, you're picking up 90 cents at that $33 strike price. So if you believe, what are the odds that I'm going to actually remain above that 93? What are my chances? You tell me. What are my chances that I will stay above 33 come expiration? Come 4 p.m. this Friday, what are my odds of being above 33? I'm sorry. Yes, of being above 33. What's the odd? No. What's the odds of it going against me, meaning it goes below 33? Either one. Staying above 33, what are the odds? It's right on the screen. It's right on the screen. It's right on the screen. The line I highlighted, it's right on the screen. Look at the delta column. Follow down. Do the cross. Where do they meet? Delta of negative 25. What that says is there's a 25% chance that I will be wrong. No. There's a 25% chance that the option will have intrinsic value. That's it. So are these going to go against you? Yep, some of them are. And your order basically needs to say if it breaks that level, you're out at whatever it cost you. You sold it for 90 cents. You bought it back for $2. Call it a day. I think I'll wait one more day, and if it just moves back up a little bit, then I'll get out. Yeah, okay. And then it drops again. Oh, if it just goes back to where it was yesterday, I'll exit the trade. And it drops again. If it just goes back to where I can not have to wipe out my entire account, then I'll go ahead and get out. Oh, no, Mr. Broker, I can't bring more cash into the account. You need to have a plan in place of where you're exiting that trade. Always. Always, always, always. Good job, guys, on the 25.75 there. So just look at the delta. It helps us to see, right? We were doing 33. It's got a 25 delta. Don't worry about the negative. Negative just says it's a put. That's all it is. 25 is 25 is 25. 25% chance. That's why we're selling these lower delta options. When I sell, I like to sell usually a max of a 20 delta. If you go with the 20 delta here, 20% chance of it going against you, you have 66 cents you're taking in instead of the 91, but you're picking an extra dollar up in there, right? I like it, but it's your call as to which one fits your risk profile. Debbie said, do you need a margin account? So, Debbie, it all depends because you can do this in a retirement account. But what's the difference? In a retirement account, you can't bring cash in. Right, so now it's called selling puts for cash. It's not naked any longer. Naked says you're uncovered. You don't have to have, but the maintenance margin, well, you need the entry margin. And then, of course, you got to maintain the maintenance margin to be able to stay in the trade. If you had enough cash in the account, Debbie, then no, broker specific, then you might not be required to have a margin account to do it. As long as you can provide the cash. And what does that mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be all the cash, all of it in cash. It could be possibly in another fund or stock equity that you own, something else like that. But you can do these without margin accounts. It's all a matter of what your broker allows for the rules. So I would ask that question because realistically, it's hard. It is hard for me as a trader right now. If you go ahead and you trade and you sell, let's say you want 33. Right, we sell that 33, and then we come back here, Debbie, and here's what you do. If your broker says, no, you can't do this without a margin account, then you go and buy the other one and take in a 26-cent credit on this trade. Oh, yeah, but Rob, you got so much more. But now I have $1 maximum risk in this trade. This is one of the favored trades of what Amelia does inside of Trade Watch Alerts. Got to check it out, guys. All right, by doing both of these together here, let me change this over to one contract. Let's see. Short one, long one. We've got a 26-cent credit is what we're doing. I'll click place trade. And guys, there's the setup. You're going to sell to open 1 August, $33 put, the 6th of August. You're going to buy to open 6th of August, $32 put, credit of 76 cents. 74 cents is your maximum risk in the trade. So if your broker doesn't allow you to do it, Debbie, that is your way out if they tell you no. You still can do it. All right. I hope that helps, Debbie. William said, good point, William. AMC's earnings are on August 5th, but they are not confirmed, which is the other thing that scares me a little bit about them, right? Is here we are just a couple of days away, and they don't have a confirmed date as of yet. All right. Guys, gals, give me your symbols. What do you want me to take a look at? Let's go through a lightning round. And let's see what we can't come up with. Good, Jim. I appreciate that that update for me on that. Okay, so let's try this one more time. SPY. Get them in there, folks. If you got candidates, drop them in. We'll take a look. If you're on YouTube watching us, drop your candidates in. They'll get them into the chat box for me. Not a problem at all. So SPY. We drew a new fib. I do not know why it didn't transfer over here. Okay. Well, we're here to the second candle here. We didn't need any fibbits. All right. So SPY is at 439 right now. Monthly's only good open interest, decent bid-ask spread. They only trade in nickels and dimes, so you're not going to negotiate in there very much. Decent open interest, though, but not really my billywig. A little bit too low of a price, and the pattern I needed to kind of shift and move back up before we get something that says I want to do anything with this. Not really there now. Let me try to adjust. So Robert said, let's revisit Microsoft. I know you did a video and it's setting up nicely. Yes. So Microsoft, all right, they're up 71 cents right now. So very nice. So we're closed, right? Potential bounce off of there, 71 cents. So call it 85 3/4. 88.5 is our first target on Microsoft. 294 is our second target. So nice little setup. But once again, Robert, if I'm looking at Microsoft and looking at how the 8 moving average is sitting right near that fib line, it's not laying on top of it on perfectly, but I'd still give it an A. Absolutely, I'd give the setup an A. So I like Microsoft a lot for the exact reasons I went through and did in this video. Guys, if you go to tradewithrob.com/go, tradewithrob.com/go. And let me make sure I send this to everybody. I don't want to send it to Mike. I want to send to everybody. There we go. All right. Go there, register. You get usually 2 to 3 times a week. I send out an update on trade setups, all the details, stops, targets, all of that. So, Robert, I hope that was helpful going over it. Let's see. Linda's asking for Intel. Intel's got a lot of stuff going on right now with trying to get everything going, fixed with their chip shortages and all that stuff. They did come out and say that they fully intend to be in the top 3 again of chip manufacturers by 2025, I think it was. More self-sustained and less required on others to do some of the work for them. But overall pattern's been somewhat sideways. Definitely look at potential bearish. You really got to look at where it is today. And Intel right now is flat. It's up 31 cents. So really nothing there to excite me about it. I'd be looking for the bearish move to the downside on Intel. FIVN, Frankie from YouTube. FIVN. Frankie, I've got FIVN as a Rob channel. It's my form of how things channel, which are no longer just one support and resistance. There's at least 7 lines set up on this chart. You've got the channel itself with 1 line in the middle. You've got 2 lines below that channel and 2 lines above that channel. So you got 3 for the main one, 2 and 2. 2, 3 is 5, 2 is 7. You have at least 7 lines set up on there, and I'm actually going as much as 11 lines right now on the chart. 4 lines above, 4 lines below. We've pushed up to the top of the range right now, and just to mark my thoughts, look at the move up. Look at the move up here. Yeah, let's get rid of that. The move up, the retest, and the bounce. Boom. We hit our resistance level in 1 day, right? 2 if you count the entry day. So if we look on FIVN, we are down 16 cents. We're at a resistance level right now. It's trying to decide if it's going to break out. There's a fake head fake, right, on yesterday, Friday. Another head fake. I'm sorry, this was Thursday. This was Friday. We're at this level now, which is it's trying to see what it's going to do. Could you take the fail to the downside? You could. You're just fighting the overall market. Get above that 203.79, close, retest, and bounce. There's the potential entry. GE did their reverse split today. I am not a fan of reverse splits at all. Yeah, this chart is still recognizing previous data. So it's trading at 101. Look at this. It went up to 107 today. It opened up at 105. It's $4 under where it was. I mean, it's just. What did they do? A 10 for 1 or something? I saw the reverse split on it. I don't remember what the number was that they had quoted it doing. What's that? 1 to 8. Thank you, Sean. So 1 to 8 ratio. And no options listed on it. That's the interesting part, if there's no options yet. They're probably trying to figure them out because they did have options last week on GE. All right. CRM. Mike's asking for CRM. On SPY. Debbie, let's see. Yep, looking for the – well, remember, we gapped up and pulled back on that gap today, right? We actually filled the whole gap today. So we're sitting back near that 437.92 level on SPY. We'd be looking for the bounce off of there. $438.74. So we're about a buck above. You're welcome, Mike. You're welcome, Brenda. Gillies, I'm doing fantastic. If I was doing any better, there'd have to be 2 of me. Barry said GE split occurred about 2 weeks after a huge drop or a regular split of July 19th. Really? So if there was a split that I would be able to see, Barry, because I'm not getting today's data because I don't have my credentials in here for the intraday. So if there was a split that would happen, if I hit the letter U on Omega charts, it will adjust for splits. And you saw a little movement, right? Let's see. But if we go ahead and go to a weekly chart, go to a monthly chart. Gentlemen, did you learn some good stuff here today? I truly hope so, right? Guys, we're going to drop the link back in again for Charting Your Way to Success. We'll leave the room open a couple of minutes so you can go ahead and register for that training. Get your butts in those seats. Starting this week, we start to allow our partners outside of Wealth Builders to take advantage of those seats, which we have not done yet. Those of you that are on Benzinga that follow me along there have not seen it on their show, right? And that will tomorrow we will be talking about it on their show. So make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all at our next update. Bye for now.